There was a time when I thought I was just another face in the crowd, a delivery driver hustling through my city, juggling multiple jobs just to make ends meet. Days turned into nights, and I often felt invisible. Like many people, I had dreams, ambitions that seemed too big for someone like me, a 24-year-old woman just trying to get by. People said I was just going to be another statistic, just another person who worked hard but never really achieved anything. But I wasn't ready to accept that. I remember one particularly chaotic afternoon, navigating through the city streets, my delivery bag bouncing in the back of my car. I pulled up to TechCorp, a sleek building buzzing with people. Little did I know I was walking into a storm. Inside a room full of engineers, 20 of them all decked out in fancy suits, banging their heads against the wall, trying to solve a monumental system failure. And you know what? They were stumped. I, on the other hand, had a gut feeling, a hunch about what was causing all that chaos. So I spoke up, but instead of being met with curiosity or respect, I was met with disdain. Michael, the CTO, barely glanced my way before rolling his eyes and dismissing me like I was just another annoying interruption. In that moment, I felt the weight of their skepticism, but something inside me ignited a fire that wouldn't be silenced. I knew right then and there that I had something to prove, not just to them, but to myself. And that spark, well, it would light a path none of us could have anticipated. In that moment, the air thickened, suffocating under the weight of their laughter. I stood there, a mere delivery driver, surrounded by a fortress of freshly pressed suits and slick haircuts. My suggestion had been simple, a flick of intuition that I thought could patch their tech catastrophe. But then, I saw the looks exchange the eye rolls and smirks that spoke volumes more than words ever could. What does she know? Michael Harrison's voice sliced through the tension, dripping with condescension. Let's leave the tech to the experts, shall we? I swallowed hard, rage constricting my throat. I felt it then, a betrayal that rattled the very foundation beneath my sneakers. That dismissal didn't just knock the wind out of me, it shattered something more profound. A month later, I would find my app suspended, my income stripped away by a cruel thumb on a digital screen. My phone buzzed with notifications that felt like daggers. Account suspended. Please contact support. My chest contracted, and there it was, the perfect storm of despair and fury. Mum needs that surgery. I had screamed into the empty room later that night, tears spilling over my clenched fists. Each beep of my phone felt like Michael laughing in my face, and I thought, why does everyone assume I can't break through their glass walls? The world had written me off, but deep down, a fire ignited. I could feel the journey ahead would be treacherous, but I refused to let their sneers define me, to let their laughter drown out my resolve. So I turned my pain into purpose, digging through code late into the night because I had a point to prove. For a while there, I really thought rejection was just a phase. Like when you think you can binge watch an entire season of a show in one sitting and end up regretting your life choices by 3 a.m. But this was different. This was about my soul. Every time I opened my email, I braced myself for the usual. We appreciate your input, but, or excellent idea, but we're going in a different direction. It might as well have read, thanks for playing. Better luck next time. That wasn't just a rejection. It felt like a cosmic slap in the face. I'd be delivering food again while my mind was buzzing with algorithms and protocols. Sure, the job paid my bills and kept my mum's health afloat, but every time I handed over that steaming bag of takeout, I felt like I was handing away a part of my dignity. I mean, I was getting asked for a tip for just doing my job, as if I should be grateful. Things took a turn for the worse when I got that notification suspension from all delivery apps. Oh, they had the audacity, didn't they? I could almost hear the laughter of those engineers ringing in my ears as I stared at my phone in disbelief. Thanks a lot, Michael, I muttered, channeling my inner superhero, I'll save the world whether you like it or not. Because if he thought I was done, he seriously underestimated the stubbornness I inherited from my mother. And in the dead of night, between the flicker of my laptop screen and the hum of streetlights just outside, I found a flicker of hope. Each line of code I typed was a tiny act of defiance against those who discarded me, like a crumpled receipt that you toss aside without a second thought. I was about to teach them one crucial lesson. Sometimes the best solutions come from the most unexpected people, especially when they're fed up and have got something to prove. Kesha sat on her bed, the sharp glow of her laptop illuminating her face in the dark. All the rejection weighed heavy. Every alert on her phone felt like a reminder of her limitations. They didn't just silence her, they suffocated her spirit. But despair is a heavy cloak, and it can either suffocate or transform. With trembling hands, Kesha typed and deleted. Typed and deleted. Ideas circling in her mind like trapped birds. Then one line pierced through the fog. What if this isn't the end? That thought struck a spark. Pause. She dug deeper into her coding manuals, memories flooding back of those late-night sessions with her father, his laughter as he guided her through lines of code. The taste of forgotten dreams grew sweeter with every keystroke. Keisha took a breath, the weight shifting. She wasn't just a delivery driver anymore. She was a force waking up. Her plan began to take shape in her mind, a fortress of codes, a safety net for those vulnerable clients. Look out, Tech Corp. She couldn't let Michael's arrogance define her. Pause. Suddenly a message from Jennifer sent a rush of adrenaline through her veins. Strategies flashed before her, and alliances formed in the shadows of Michael's disdain. Together, they could rewrite this story. The realization settled. She would flip the narrative. Fueled by rage, she poured herself into her work, each code becoming a testament to every sneer she'd faced. No more silence. With fingers flying across the keyboard, Kesha crafted a weapon, one that would expose the cracks in complacency. She was no longer a victim. She was the storm. Pause. From the ashes of rejection, she rose, ready to show the world what one determined spirit could achieve. As the boardroom doors swung open, Kesha stood tall amid the sterile glint of polished conference tables and sleek monitors. Her heart thrummed in her chest, each beat a reminder of the long nights spent coding the sweat earned through tireless work, and the humiliation she had transformed into fuel. Around the tables sat the very engineers who had dismissed her their faces, now a mixture of curiosity and anxiety as she laid out her meticulously crafted presentation. One by one, she unveiled the critical flaws in TechCorp's security protocols. This isn't just about numbers, she stated, her voice steady, almost reverberating with power. This is about safety. It's about trust. As she clicked through her slides, the screen illuminated images of vulnerabilities that could endanger countless clients, a stark contrast to their earlier confidence. A shimmer of fear flickered in Michael's eyes. His empire, once so invulnerable, now felt like a house of cards. She paused, savouring the moment for its weight. With the media's cameras flashing like lightning strikes, she turned to Michael, an unyielding calm in her gaze. "You thought I didn't belong here, that I was just a delivery driver," she said. "But I've done what 20 of your engineers couldn't." She watched as his bravado crumbled under the scrutiny of her evidence, his once commanding presence reduced to nervous fidgeting. As she wrapped up her presentation, a headline flashed across the screen, a local news story featuring her bravery and ingenuity. Kesha Williams, the delivery driver who outsmarted an industry giant. The corners of her mouth turned up ever so slightly, a quiet smirk that spoke volumes. Each scar from her journey felt a little less heavy today. They had transformed into badges of honor, reminders that every setback had led her to this moment of validation. Yet she knew that success wouldn't erase the past. The scars were still there, a testament to her struggle, but now they just made every victory worth it. And as she walked out of that room, leaving behind not just the bitterness, but also a changed legacy, she understood that true empowerment lies in overcoming, even when the journey leaves marks. As I look back on this remarkable journey, I find myself reflecting on the strange tangled web of power and trust. I once believed that trust, especially in the workplace, was a given something forged through respect and shared goals. But what does it mean when the very systems designed to empower us instead serve to oppress? My experiences have made one thing clear. There's a fine line between justice and revenge. Keisha's fight didn't just seek to reclaim her dignity. It was a powerful statement about who truly deserves the reins of innovation and authority. In an age where success is often measured by titles and accolades, we must ask ourselves, is revenge ever justified? Kesha harnessed the very injustices she faced to create something greater than herself. Yet some might argue she became the very monster she set out to defeat. Was her quest for empowerment a just reaction or a perpetuation of the same cycles of distrust and downfall? The debate about whether vengeance can lead to real justice continues to divide us. Perhaps the question worth pondering is this: when you're wronged, should you fight for your place in the system or seek to dismantle it altogether? As Kesha stands poised to deliver her vision at the National Technology Conference, I invite you to share your thoughts. Have you faced a similar crucible of empowerment or dissolution? Do you believe revenge can ever be a form of justice? Let's explore these questions together. after all, the conversation is just as critical as the journey itself.